Ladies and gentlemen, adjust your headphones.
Come on in and shut the front door. You're welcome to the You Should Know podcast. You lot should know by now, to be honest. The news from the antagonist shoes. We're going to look at some of the weird and wonderful stories in the news today that you may have seen. And we're going to look at some of the most current mainstream stories, but with a twist. We're going to look at it from some of the most unsavory characters in the story. So I am your host, Julian Mabiri. I'm going to pass you to my co-host.
Yeah, Michael Akadiri. What is going on, people? We good?
I'm sure they're good wherever they are. So, what I'm going to say to you, Mike, is I think we should just jump straight into it.
Yeah, let's not waste no time.
Straight into the first segment, Undercover Gems, right? You ready?
Hit
cool.
me.
All right. Woman nabbed trying to use fake bill.
Fake bill. Woman, cool. Well, I ain't no woman, but if I'm going to use a fake bill, it's going to be to feed some kids. Yeah.
To be honest, woman, there's also another assailant in it, so women.
Women,
it doesn't really relate to their gender.
Okay, so they're not looking after kids. Okay, they're doing their own thing.
No, they may be. I don't know. They may be.
I was just trying to, put a motherly aspect to it. But if these women are saying "fuck these kids," then fuck the kids.
Sorry.
yeah. I had to remove that word before it sounded bad. That's gonna sound bad.
Yeah, like I'm end up with the Jimmy Shovel. Jimmy Shovel lineup. Jimmy Savile lineup.
Jimmy Savile, Prince Andrew, they're all there. They're all there. Now that was gonna sound a bit mad, but I had to stop myself.
Yeah, I got you.
And then he caught me in, I'm about to say 4K, but this is HD. I ain't got a 4K camera. Ain't got money like that.
Put your glasses on while you watch the YouTube one. You maybe.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out Specsavers for the support. Woman, fake bill. Maybe, you know what? Maybe she tried to go to Dr. Mammy's, Dr. Mammy, because I know this is some US thing. Maybe she went to go to Dr. Mammy to get a BBL, and she tried to use fake money in it. She could have just gone the old school way by offering him a BJ, but she said, "Nah, let me give him a fake bill in it." So I'm going with that.
Wait, so it's all right. So I'm going to put imagery. But Dr. Miami, I don't know how much she charges, but people paying with a bill, one bill. I don't think any of his surgeries come up to like 100 bill. I mean, 100 bill.
He said surgeries. He's probably charging 10K, 20K. He's just flossing, man. Like he's enjoying himself. Listening to hip hop, operating, making racks. Shout out Dr. Miami every time, man.
Well, it's not that, but you weren't even close. I'm not lie to you.
I wasn't even close.
Not even close. No, 2 Tennessee women, obviously.
This guy, you already get your sources from America. Do you even know that we're in the UK?
Listen, I've got insider in America. Yeah, Donald Trump is still sending me.
Donald Trump is working for Julia.
He's sending me this information via his own social media platform. Don't worry about it.
Well, what's that secret social media? All them right wingers are on. What's it called?
Parler, I think it is.
Was Donald Trump on there?
I don't know. I don't use it.
You don't use it. This guy. Anyway,
he's on Mr. America. Donny _45. But anyway, these 2 women, were nabbed for allegedly trying to pass off $1 million bill as the real thing. Now I know what you're thinking. $1 million bill. What? When did the US start issuing the $1 million bills? And you'd be right, because they don't. They don't issue $1 million bills.
Who did they put on this bill? What famous person did they put on this bill? Let's hear it.
I don't know, man. I think they put Homer Simpson on it, the way the story is looking. They went into a Dollar General store in the Knoxville area with a phony $1 million bill. Obviously, the person called the police straight away. And one of the ladies, Miss McCormick, when the officers were there, said the counterfeit bill, was sent for her. It was sent to her in the mail by the church. Okay.
Oh my God.
She couldn't provide any information.
God into it. About
how she got the thing. And
hell is waiting for you, please.
Yeah, but you know them evangelists in America, they may even listen to that stuff. Wow. She even alleged that they were going to use the money to pay for stuff for the homeless people. They're going to buy them various gifts and that. The worst part of this story is, I'll be honest with you, is that they weren't even arrested on fraud charges. They just took the bill. They got a verbal. They got a verbal warning. And they let them go.
Verbal warning. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if there were 2 young black boys who did that, they'll have holes in their jumper if the police.
Yeah, that's what I say. What was the name of these women? McCluskey. What's the name?
Nah, one was called McCormick, Amanda McCormick, and the other was 61-year-old Linda Johnson.
There we go.
The mum of the Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
I heard those names. They're going home. They're going home safe.
Yeah. So they just gave him a talking to. I said, listen, if you do this again, we'll just take it off you again. So don't do it again.
Well, that's how policing should be for everyone. But we know that America.
What do you mean? That's fraud, brother. They should be in bin. They should be in bin right next to El Chapo and their man there.
El Chapo. No, it's complete fraud. But when I say policing, i.e., the police do know not how to, shoot,
escalate,
execute people. But I can't. $1 million. The thing is, just play it cool, man. Just go for a nice sort of $10-20. Like, how are you gonna go for $1 million bill? Like, people have no sense.
Listen.
Sense at all.
I want a new swimming pool by tomorrow. So go into the dollar store and get change for this $1 million bill.
Dollar General. How are you going to Poundland with $1 million? Oh, come off it, man.
I mean, that doesn't exist.
I don't want to hear it.
It doesn't even exist in your country.
They should have just went to jail for being stupid. That's what they should be. The officer said, "You are stupid. You're going to jail, so you can."
Fun fact,
be
though,
educated.
we do have a $1 million bill in the UK. We just can't use it, but we do have one. Anyway,
that must be for Rupert Murdoch only, fam. That is not for me. That is for sure.
It's in the Bank of England. You can't actually use it.
Jeez, man, no, it's not Mervyn King. I don't know who's the latest one.
Mervyn.
I don't know who the latest guy is. I don't know who the latest governor is, but man like Mervyn King, shout out Mervyn King, Recession Bank of England governor, my guy. All right, the title I've got for you this week, I'm keeping it UK, because unlike you, I respect the country of birth.
We'll get onto that in a minute, but go on.
Her three Hertfordshire PCs took it in turn to. 2 is blank. You got to guess what 2 is.
3 Hertfordshire PCs, police constables.
There we go.
Took it in turn to do wheelies. I don't know. Spin. I don't know.
This guy, you're not even trying.
In the whip, like in the car, they must have got the police car and just doing spinning donuts or something.
Spinning donuts, well,
or if they want horses, they were spinning the horses. I know these.
Spinning this guy. You think they're Frankie Dettori from or whatever?
They maybe listen. They always bring them out to the riots as if they're trying to. They always say protect animals, RSPCA. Then they go and bring them into the riots
live. Yeah,
the horse gets a bump on the head and stuff like that. It's not nice.
It gets bump on the head. It starts bolting through. Starts running through people. Scary.
Thousands of people, but yeah, I reckon. They were in a whip. They were like, "Come on, look, it's late, all right."
Yeah,
our shift's nearly over. Even though the police doesn't close, they said, "Yeah, let's start doing wheelies in the back of the Tesco car park."
Just start spinning it. All right.
Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That's sticking to it. You're wrong. Well, it's about a car. I'll give you that. It's about a whip, but that's not like that. Half a point then. So 3. Yeah, the listeners will tell us who's winning of this series. But 3 PCs from Hertfordshire seized a Bentley from an uninsured driver, and they took it in turns to speed it up and down the dual carriageway. Innit?
That's basically what I said.
No, you didn't. You said wheelies in a car park doing donuts. Come on, is it Krispy Kreme?
The same thing, man. It's the same thing. The same thing.
Apparently, when they arrested this uninsured driver, they put him in the back of the Bentley and they drove off. They left the police car there.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? They left him in the Bentley.
No, they left the police car. They left the police car. They put him in the back of his own car and drove off to the police station.
Wow.
Imagine.
So how did they get him back?
No, obviously. Imagine you're being handcuffed and all you hear is the police officers calling that shotgun. The police officers were so gassed by this Bentley that they forgot about the normal procedures they needed to do in it. So,
did they put it on their Instagrams?
No, that's the thing. The only reason they got caught is because obviously the uninsured driver wasn't the owner of the Bentley. It was another dude who could see on the GPS tracker that these guys are detouring. They're not going the way they should be to the police station. But obviously, so imagine then speeding down the dual carriageway. And it's probably like that time in Sweden when you said the cab driver was going the wrong way. When he was
the wrong way, 100 miles an hour in the wrong way.
There we go.
This Uber is going to cost a fortune. Fuck it, I wanted to jump halfway.
But apparently, I don't know. I would have loved to have been on these guys' Snapchat that day because they must have been flexing hard. Like, imagine you're in a Bentley. Like, normally you drive a flipping Skoda, but today you nab the guy in a Bentley and you can. And they take that photo. People do it when they're in these nice cars where they tilt their head to the side so you can see the logo in the headrest. and that, and I'm sure PC Constable Smith must have been.
They have the keys in one of their Instagram pictures.
Come on, like just a slight thing, innit? Just a slight thing.
Bentayga, but that's just a Bentayga.
Yeah, did the MOT today, casual.
Yeah. Obviously finance, but who cares, bro?
Who cares? It's nasty because you know what? Obviously, I don't have the BMW anymore, but I remember when I did have the BMW.
Oh yeah, you leveled up in it. Yeah.
I'm in something undescribable right now. I'm not gonna announce what I'm driving
undescribable
right now.
car. What are you in the Batmobile?
Batmobile. That's undescribable. It's a vehicle I won't disclose to the public, but it gets you from A to B. That's all we need to know. And I was in this, and I remember the police tried to pull me over one time, and now I'm thinking, and they did. It just got me. I thought they were pulling me over because I was black, but I think maybe they just wanted to joyride the whip in it because clearly that's what the BMW. Nah,
I don't think it's the same.
Come off, man. These men are driving a Skoda. It's the same.
Listen, the armed response ones, they're in the X5. I saw them the other day, fam. The one with the rims as well.
What, they were chasing you for what?
They weren't chasing me, but you know they do the reviews on Auto Trader. They were in one of those cars, like with the drop top. They had some nice whips. So.
That you embarrassed my whip. No, my car was.
No, your whip was fine.
It was a calm little.
Your whip was fine. I just don't think the police ever stop you for the BMW. If they stop you for Bentegas out here and Lamborghinis,
they wanted to drive. They wanted to drive the German, innit?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't believe. Leave him. This is skeptical guy, fam. All right. I forgot you're a capitalist after last week's episode. Anyways, now we're going to move on to the main segment of the pod. This is the You Should Know Better segment. This is where, in turn, one of us will summarize a news story from the past week, and the other has to consider that same news story from the antagonist's shoes and ask themselves, should they have known better? So, Junior, I'm going to go first. The UK race report. Obviously, as our listeners will know, the UK published its race report at the end of March, and we didn't really touch on about it. We kind of left that. We kind of left that story slide, but I'm going to bring it back this week because the UN, the United Nations, have come out and they said that report normalises white supremacy. They've come out and they put out in a statement. I'm going to read an excerpt from the statement. In 2021, it is stunning to read a report on race and ethnicity that repackages racist tropes and stereotypes into fact, twisting data and misapplying statistics and studies into conclusory findings and I don't even know what that word is, fam. The UN need to relax. Ad hominem attacks on people of African descent. So, Junior, obviously, I'm going to put you into the shoes of Tony Sewell, the top coon that brought this report out. So, what do you have to say, considering the UN's response to this report? The report you headed. What do you have to say?
It was a scathing report, I can't lie. It actually was a scathing report. But I think, look, what did the UN know anyway? What was it?
What the UN, the United Nations.
That WHO, World Health Organization. Look at they didn't even say it was a pandemic when it was a pandemic.
It's that Ethiopian don. That's the leader.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not even going to try and pronounce or say his name just to make a mistake. But what I will say is that this report, is rubbish. Yeah. Okay. The UN one, not our report, because obviously our report.
Okay. Why
I'm black. I'm black. I contributed, so that's enough. Okay, that's enough to trust the report. Okay. And look, Michael, you're black, are you not?
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud.
Are you alive?
Most definitely.
Do you live in the UK?
Yeah, that's
then there's no racism because you wouldn't be alive if that was the case. I don't know why you're asking me.
You're like the people that said
proves that racism is on the way out in the UK because you're alive. Okay, so and I think I know what you're about to touch upon because look, there was one racist, patriot, who said that listen, Stormzy wouldn't be making money.
One patriot.
Stormzy should be grateful that he's been able to make all that money in this country. Okay.
Yeah. They did say that.
And he's right. The guy is right. The guy's right. He should be very grateful for all the money he's been able to make. Right. And if he doesn't shut up, we'll send him back. So look, I just think, that.
Well, because he's too big for his boots.
Probably, yeah. I don't know why he's got that Union Jack on as well. Should be the gun on. But anyway, I'll blind him this time. But look, as I always tell my white friends, you can't be racist because you've got a black friend who's me. So how can there be racism in the UK? It just doesn't add up. And me and Dr. Shah, we agree that in the UK, there's way too many colored people on the TV adverts. It's always a mixed race girl on some kind of Halifax advert with curly hair. Like, what's going on? It's too much.
It's too much.
And we want to see more Sharons and Simons. That's a fair representation. There's too many Tywers and Kendays. That's what I've got to say.
Jeez, 3% of the population is too much. It's too scary.
It's too much.
3 out of 100 is too much. That's more than that, but still. The UK census in 2021 will demonstrate how much.
No, I don't think so. Some
people
ain't trying to put themselves on that census.
what you were trying to hide?
The papers get revoked, fam.
Oh, come on, Finn. This guy, you're really.
You have to be smart. You have to get you.
You're deep in flag Twitter, boy. You are deep in flag Twitter.
That's how they get you. Don't remember that game, Ghana vs England? They tried to collect people, fam. I know.
Well, at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. No, I'm joking, but yeah, that's my take. If I was him.
So your take is that the UN are incorrect. Obviously, the UN coming out with statements that it was a tone-deaf attempt at rejecting the lived realities of people of African descent and other ethnic minorities in the UK.
You went it right because they basically just tried to whitewash the experience that people have lived. It's not just black people, but people of color in the UK. They've experienced these things firsthand. Just because I think it's interesting because they get someone like Sewell who's lived a probably predominantly wealthy life. He's been around the upper echelons in this society, and so maybe his experience of racism doesn't match the rest of us, but that doesn't mean he's the voice for all of us. I think that's where you get these problems where these people end up in these positions of power, and they may, not saying he hasn't experienced, but he may forget just how serious it is for people who are not in this position. And it's sad to see people like him and Dr. Shah make these kind of comments in the report. That's quite sad.
It's very sad. It's very sad. And as you say, the UN, I'm glad the UN came out with that damning report, because after the UK's race report came out, obviously a lot of people that are black came out and basically called it rubbish, called it trash, criticized it, said it's incorrect. They were talking about trying to put a positive spin on slavery. I was like, what kind of gaslighting is this? And it's good that you've got an independent, respected, authoritative body coming out and saying, look, you guys are trash. We needed that. And I'm glad that's happened. Because sometimes what happens, especially when there are things done against black people, we're led to believe, or we're painted out that's all in our minds. I'm glad that on this occasion, there is another body coming out and saying, look, you got to chat in bloody shit.
Yeah, I agree. And the gaslighting just didn't work in this instance at all. But I think onto that point, I'm going to jump into some even bigger news than race, color. This is the biggest news in the world, apparently. Football. Okay,
that football trumps all.
Of course it does. Clearly, when it's lining your pockets. So if you don't know, 12 football teams, the big six teams in the UK, and 3 in Italy and Spain.
What do you mean big six? Leicester aren't in there. West Ham's not in there. What do you mean big six?
Financially. Created their own European Super League, okay? And they've effectively done this against, the best wishes of the whole football community. Their reasons are that because we're in a state, because of the pandemic, it's exacerbated their losses of revenue. And so they need to create a league that can guarantee financial rewards for all the teams in the league, regardless of how good they play, how badly they play. They're not going anywhere. And now there's obviously uproar because it's a closed league, which for some of you who may not understand, that means no teams can get promoted or relegated. And it's drawn criticism from pundits, managers, it's drawn criticism from the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, President Macron. The UN said it was a human rights violation. Even Thanos said it was anti-competitive. Everyone's chimed in. And the main man at the top is Florentino Perez, owner of Real Madrid, 2.2 billion net worth. That's a billion. Billionaire, yeah, I had to do my homework on my man. And he's really happy to break away. So, Mike, I'm going to put you in his shoes. Okay.
Jeez.
You're
Come
Perez.
On.
Okay.
Come, man, like 2.2
You want to break
billion.
away. What's your reasons for dragging the world into this mess? Because clearly it's the biggest story out there.
My reasoning, clearly, I don't know how to say it in Spanish, but I know how to say it in English.
Say it in Yoruba.
Money afi make. That's a universal language. Money afi make. We got to make this money. The thing that people need to understand is that Perez, we are just out capitalizing the capitalist. That's all it is. There's money to be made. I can guarantee your club 300 billion a year. 300 million. Geez, 300 billion. Jeez, me, I'll join the club. I'll join the club.
I'll just hold the pen for the guy who signs the contract. That's at least 900 a day, at least.
I can guarantee your club 300 million. That's all a company wants. Any business in the world, if you can guarantee their revenue, it's a sure thing. And all these clubs, these big clubs, let's make sure the family can be fed. The football fraternity can be fed. These big clubs, if they're doing well, that means everyone in a club is doing well. Do you know how many thousands of people these clubs employ? Thousands of people, even from the CEO to the match day steward. And that means that they could sort of be fed. And it means that the football fans, because we're doing this for the fans, they get a better footballing experience. And they get to see the bigger teams play each other more often. Why wait a year to see Barcelona versus PSG or see a PSG versus Bayern Munich? Why wait all that time?
PSG aren't in it.
Oh yeah, PSG aren't in it. Let's use a better example. Why wait Barcelona versus Liverpool then? Why wait all that time? Why wait? Why wait to see? Well, Arsenal aren't in the Champions League anyway, so let's use a better example. Why wait for Man City? Why wait for Man City versus a Barcelona, Man City versus a Real Madrid? Why wait a year when you can have that on a more frequent basis? So, money have to make. Capitalism rules the roost. And why wait? I'm putting guaranteed money in people's pockets. And if any person comes to me and says that they wouldn't want a guarantee in their life for more money, I'm telling you, and I'm pointing out a liar.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah. Some parts of that I do agree with. I feel like this is obviously a capitalist grab, but the UEFA are trying to do their own capitalist grab. The Premier League did that. Okay, in 1993.
In 1992 when they set up the Premier League and they went into bed with Sky, who are now coming out and acting like they're on the moral high ground.
Have you seen their statements? Them and Amazon, they said nobody has contacted us about joining. They didn't say we would never join. they said nobody contacted us. Davy Jones and them are trying to walk it all like, oh yeah, we're all good in that. But no, I agree with that point. The UEFA are trying to make money just as much as Perez, you and your breakaway. I think the clear obvious difference here is the whole promotion and relegation, like closing off the league.
No, but we said that 5 teams could join the league every year, depending on their league coefficient. Yeah,
but that's still not fair, isn't it? Because teams can't get relegated, you see. So you can
have the NBA exists.
Yeah, but that's an American.
The MLS exists.
Those are American models that don't work.
The African Super League exists.
Those are American models that don't work.
Well, African Super League is American. No, come on.
No, I said the American models. The American models that don't work,
and they're sanctioned by MLS. I should say.
But do you want to be following American rules? I mean, if we were living in America right now, your blood will be full of Popeye chickens, fam. And
a biscuit with gravy.
NHS will be on his knees, brother. Fam. So I think there's just a huge swing of companies trying to just not companies, but institutions trying to take advantage of football, and I just think this is a level too far. My biggest issue, actually, so I disagree with what you're saying. This league shouldn't be there. But my biggest issue is really with not just with the Super League, but it's been with the response. I think the response has been so good towards the ESL, to damn it, like it's all over my Sky News feed. But I never saw this when it was dealing with constant bouts of racism and stuff like that. Like, if you can put your energy behind that, why can't you do it with racism? That's just my fault. That's my fault.
No, of course. I think that's a very good point.
Yeah. Sorry, just before we continue, I should say at the time of recording, there is news that Man City, Chelsea, and Atletico Madrid are looking to pull out no Durex on this Super League.
Jeez.
So you may hear this. By the time you hear this, there may be just Arsenal and Tottenham left in there because
Real Madrid aren't going nowhere. Perez is dying with
it
this.
could be those three in the league and Cheltenham or something like that.
Perez is taking this to his grave. He ain't going nowhere. No, very true, and that's my thoughts exactly. Like, I think this is demonstrating what people can do and are willing to do when they feel that they're suffering an injustice or something they deem an injustice. And it just goes to show for me that some people clearly don't see racism as an injustice. And it's
not a big enough problem, is it?
It's not a big enough problem. I think, as you know, that the Slavia Prague guy got 10-game ban for obviously shouting racist remarks at Glenn Kamara, who's a Rangers player. Rio Ferdinand got an 8-month ban for missing a drug test. So it just goes to show it doesn't add up. And there's no money in solving racism. That's what I think. There's no money in solving it. So why will they solve it? Clearly, these guys listen to money. That's what they listen to. Money.
Just final points now, so we can move on to the next segment. It's just that, I agree with you wholeheartedly. 10-game ban is ridiculous when they're screaming out that you can't even play for FIFA in UEFA competitions. And the players have nothing to do with it. The players have nothing to do with it. But that footballer who did just got 10-game ban. But anyway, I digress.
We digress. We're gonna digress to the throwback segment. The last segment of our podcast. You guys know about this segment right now. This is where we look back at something that has happened during this week, the week beginning the 19th of April in yesteryear. So, Junior, what have you got for us this week?
A poignant story. I feel like I'm just jamming this point home about race, but it's by the time viewers listen to this, it will be the 22nd of April. And in 1993, that was the date of the murder of Stephen Lawrence in Eltham. On Well Hall Road. He was murdered in a racially motivated attack while waiting for a bus in Well Hall in Eltham. He was waiting for a bus with his friend, then 6 white youths jumped him, stabbed him. He tried to flee, but ended up dying from his injuries. There was a huge inquiry. They found out that the Metropolitan Police Service was institutionally racist, a term that's apparently gone now. But anyway, and it was so crazy that even back in the day, the Daily Mail posted on their front page that 5 suspects, 5 of the 6, they called them murderers even before the case had ended. And the family praised them for that. I don't know if they do that today. But anyway, it just kind of ties together. I mean, I live really, really close from the place where he was killed as well. So for me, it's quite poignant because I can still go past that place every day and see definitely. That. And it's just still a memory in our heads that, look, we haven't gone past the place where people in this country are accepting. There's still people who don't feel like that. And we should remember my brother, Stephen Lawrence, because on the 22nd of April is his Remembrance Day. So
rest in peace. Beautifully said. I'm not going to add too much to that. Yeah, rest in peace, Stephen Lawrence. Very, very sad case, very poignant case. It took a lot to get those verdicts, a lot of to and fro. And the McPherson inquiry that came out of that case demonstrated that there was evidence for institutional racism, which, as Junior has said, has since disappeared. It's gone. It no longer exists.
It's gone. That's it. Okay.
So, like Houdini, cuz. So, what I've got, and I feel bad because we're going to end this podcast, we're going to end this series on quite a sour note, but here we are. I've got, my throwback is all the way back in 1968, the 20th of April, 1968. Enoch Powell. This guy was a conservative right winger, and he was an MP, and he did his he did a speech. He did a very powerful speech. It was called the Rivers of Blood speech. To cut a long story short, he was giving a speech in Birmingham. My man was an old school 1960s Nigel Farage, just banging on and complaining about immigration, complaining that there was 50,000 people coming to the country every year to take jobs and all that good stuff. And he estimated by the year 2000 that there'll be 7 million or 1 in 10 people will be an immigrant, which obviously didn't prove out to be true because there's only 4.6 million in the year 2000. So you got that wrong, Enoch. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, and I feel it's a sad point, that there are people in this country like him who, don't like the sight of us. And it's disappointing, but it's the fact. And I think that it's about going through life, acknowledging it, calling it out, but also trying to live your best life. And that's the message I want to sort of pass on to our listeners, that you should see these things. History repeats itself. Enoch Powell, he got kicked out. I think he got kicked out of the Tory party, surprisingly, in 1968 because of these views. But in modern day, there's Nigel Farage. There's other people who are going to say things that stoke racial tension. So these people exist. We've got to continue calling it out. But most importantly, live your best life.
Well said. Well said.
Well said. I don't know when we became so motivational. If you check our timelines, we're just laughing and cracking jokes.
This episode has to be called "We Are Black" because that's all I've heard today. But
yeah, it's been very racial. But that's the thing. The world we live in is racial. That's why I don't understand. When I think Kemi Bannock was complaining that Dawn Butler is stoking racial tensions by bringing up racism. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You cannot, because you don't talk about racism, doesn't mean it goes away. So if you want to speak about it, speak on it. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Because the fact that you keep the conversation alive and you point out racial injustices when they happen means that we're going to move forward and get, hopefully, in our lifetimes, we see it eradicated. But I'm not going to hold my breath.
Fantastic, Pastor Dr. Akadiri.
Gee, come on, man.
Let's wrap this up because we need to say bye-bye. Yeah,
we do need to say bye-bye. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening, tuning into the podcast. This is the last episode of Series 1. We finally made it. 8 episodes of this series. So thank you so much for tuning in with us. Thank you, everyone that's taken time to listen, to watch on YouTube, to feedback to us in the DMs or WhatsApp or whatever. We do appreciate every single one of you. But we're going to take a little break and then we're going to come back with series 2. Series 2, new and improved. But for now, you guys take it easy and please do not do anything that's going to make us say you should know better. All right, take care, people.
Love and peace.